Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal, just in case you were new here, and today I have the beginning of the year book tag. Now this book tag was created by Miss Larry Reads herself, one of my favorite booktubers on booktube at the moment. She created this tag and I'm just so happy that we are bringing tags back because tags were such a thing when I first started my channel back in 2018, and I'm just so happy to be doing a tag right now. That we need to have more tag content because sometimes you want to sit down and film something but you just don't know what. So back in my day, everything was a tag. Every video was a tag, some type of tag. So thank you, Larry, for creating this tag for us this year, because we've always had the end of the year book tag, but why no one created the beginning of the book the beginning of the year book tag is beyond me. But I'm so excited to answer these questions for you, and let's just jump into it. So the first question is, how many books are you planning on reading in 2025? Now, according to my Goodreads, I picked 35 books for 2025. Based on my current reading status and how many books I read last year in 2024, 35 is a reasonable number because I just haven't been able to read that much. So if I surpass that 35 and read 40, I'm gonna feel so good about myself because I do definitely have more than 40 books on my TBR in general. So let's aim for 35, but I'm hoping around 40-45 books for this year. The second question is a book you're likely to reread this year. Now I have a couple that I really want to reread just for fun, but I'm most likely going to be rereading Quicksilver by Callie Hart because that is my favorite book of 2024, and the second book is supposed to be coming out in the later half of this year, so I would love to just reread it just to be prepared for the arrival of our second book. And most likely I will probably reread soon Heartless Hunter just to prepare for Rebel Witch because I really don't remember much of Heartless Hunter, and it was a 5-star book for me last year, so I need to reawaken those feelings for the first book again to prepare for the second book. A priority read on your 2025 TBR. My priority read is definitely The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and the entire Stormlight Archive series I need to jump into. I am currently reading The Way of Kings and I'm definitely more than 50% of the way through. I'm trying to read a chapter or two a day just to get through the book along with reading my other books for the month. But I'm really enjoying The Way of Kings, and I am a high fantasy girl. I've always read high fantasy, but romantasy and fantasy romance have been, you know, my top books. But I'm just really enjoying getting more into adult fantasy as well and high fantasy. It's always just been one of my favorite genres, and I've owned a lot of these books for a long time. So Brandon Sanderson's series, Stormlight Archive series, is a must for me this year. And I have a few others as well. 4, an author you won't be reading more books from this year. It's such a hard thing to like say because like I don't hate any books from authors per se, but I'm most likely not going to be reading I don't know. Looking at the books on my shelf, I'm most likely not going to read anything from Jay Kristoff this year. I really would love to read the second book in his series, but I just don't think I'm going to get to it in the, what is that? Empire of the Damned. I'm most likely not going to get to Empire of the Damned this year, even though I want to, but I'm most likely not going to just because it's not a priority. Yeah, so that's probably gonna be it. Like, and I really had to think hard on that one because I'm not sure. I could in October say I'm reading that book, so I don't know. We'll see. Number 5, something new you want to read, new genres or tropes. I haven't read thrillers in quite a while, so I would love to just pick up some more thrillers this year just to kind of filter them in. As someone who used to read mostly thrillers and horror books, I just haven't read them. I own them, so I definitely want to get more into you know, crime, suspense, thrillers, horror, that genre area again. Not that I'm gonna make that my entire TBR, but it's what I've really enjoyed at one point in my booktube career. So I would like to read that to kind of just break things up a little bit. Sometimes you just need a break from all the fantasy and worlds and series that you're reading, and just to read like a standalone mystery thriller, you know, and just break your reading up. So definitely thrillers are on the list. Number 6, a popular book you'd like to read. I would really love to get through the Red Rising series. I did read Red Rising and I only read half of Golden Sun, so I mean it's a series, but I would really love to finish that series. I also would love to read Onyx Storm. That's definitely a popular book that I would like to read. Onyx Storm is the 3rd book in the 4th in the Imperium series by Rebecca Yarros. So yeah, I need to like know what happened because that Iron Flame left me on such a cliffhanger. So once I receive that book on my pre-order, I'm reading it. There's so many books I want to read. The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong, I'd really like to get to this year as well. It's very hard to pick one book. Very, very hard to pick one book, but those are a few that hopefully my 2025 consists of. Number 7, most anticipated 2025 book release. That's a hard one because I think 2025 is going to have a solid amount of book releases. But I will say Onyx Storm and Rebel Witch are my 2 top. Oh, and Enchantra or Enchantra by Kaylee Smith that wrote Phantasma. So those 3 are like my must reads for this year. Couldn't just pick one, but those are my very exciting anticipated 2025 releases. 8, a bookish goal for 2025. I want to finish some series that I'm currently in the middle of. I don't care which one it is, but I am in the middle of multiple fantasy series, and I really just want to finish a few of them. I don't want to carry them into 2026. There's some that the series is not finished, I get it, but I own multiple books in series that I have not finished yet. So I am currently not buying any more books in series unless I am up to date on those books. So that is my goal for 2025. Number 9, a book that's been on your TBR you probably won't ever read. There's a lot. There's a lot, and there's a lot that I own. I will say probably Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I own it. I own a special edition of Wicked. Love the movie, but I'm most likely not ever going to read that book. And also, I own A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik that I own the entire series, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get to that series. I just don't. And I'm holding on to the books in hopes that I get to it, but I don't think I'm going to. So we shall see. Number 10, a series you want to read this year. Definitely have a couple. But if I had to pick one that I just really want to get into, I've already mentioned Stormlight, that I'm reading that, so I'm not going to count that for number 10, but I will say The Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. I really want to get into that series And also the Fury of the, is it the Fury of the Gods or the Shadow of the God, the Shadow of the Gods, like that series as well by John Gwynne. I just want to get into one of his series this year. I feel like he's going to be a new favorite author of mine. I've heard nothing but amazing things about his books, and yeah, so that's definitely a series I'd love to get to. And also, obviously, I need to read all of Zodiac Academy and Solaria. That's like a goal. That's a very large goal of mine this year, but I need to get into that series and like really dive into it. Number 11, your auto buy authors for 2025. Definitely Brandon Sanderson. Definitely Rebecca Yarros. Definitely Kelly Hart. Sarah A. Parker. Emma Wong. Rebecca Ross. That's 6. There's a lot. Sarah J. Maas, if we get another book from her this year, hopefully we do. Stephen King is an auto buy author for me regardless, but I don't think I'm going to be purchasing any more books from him for a while, so we're gonna take that finger down. Grady Hendrix came out with a brand new novel this year. I always buy Grady Hendrix books, and it just sounds right up my alley. It's the Wayward Witchcraft for Girls. Definitely excited about that. That's an auto buy author for me. Like, definitely have to buy their book situation. Oh, and Carrie Maniscalco. If she comes out with another book, I have a whole shelf for Carrie. Oh, and V.E. Schwab. That's 10. I'm going to do 10. V.E. Schwab. Love Carrie Maniscalco's books. Love her writing. They're so easy to get through. Her writing is just so immersive, I guess you could say. Immersive and easy. I just love it. And also V.E. Schwab is coming out with a new book, which is a sapphic book about vampires, and like, oh, it just over the years, it's like 3 different point of views from 3 different eras. I'm just excited. I'm really excited. Number 12, a book to show adaptation you're excited about this year. Quicksilver. I don't know how quick Quicksilver is going to be on the screen, but I know that they are quickly working on a script for it right now, and Kelly Hart is, you know, so excited and has been talking about it on their Instagram. So I want to say Quicksilver is definitely, and also Fourth Wing, I'm pretty sure got option for a TV show, movie as well, so I would love to see that. Number 13, a sequel you're anticipating this year. Definitely Rebel Witch, definitely the follow-up to When the Moon Hatched, and definitely the follow-up to Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. Those are my 3 top books that I just can't wait for. Number 14, bookish things you're leaving in 2024. That's a hard one, but I think I'm going to stop just buying books. That I fall into the category of book buyer, but like book hoarder as well, because if I watch a video and someone loved a book, I automatically buy it, and I have to stop doing that because I have, number 1, no room on my shelves, and number 2, I have unhauled so many books that I have not read because I just have no interest in them any longer. So if I just read on my Kindle or utilize my library a little bit more, I won't have these issues where I'm like wasting money on books. And I never like to say that I'm wasting money on my favorite hobby, on my favorite thing to do, but it is a waste of money, and books are not cheap. So I can't keep unhauling books and and not reading them. If I've read them and I'm unhauling them, that's one thing. They served its purpose. But if I'm unhauling books that I have not read because I just don't have interest in them anymore, that's a problem. So that is something bookish I am leaving in 2024 and moving forward, and just trying to be a little bit smarter about the things that I do purchase for 2025. 15, what to expect from this account. Well, what you can expect from my booktube account is definitely some book content. I want to incorporate a little bit more lifestyle onto my channel as well, and try to vlog a little bit more, and doing some 24-hour readathons, some at-home vlogging, so you can kind of see what my day is like being a mom who's in her 30s, who loves books, who is on booktube. And I would love to just incorporate a little bit more about being in your 30s, being on booktube, and being a booktuber and a mom and a wife. I think a lot of people are looking for that on this side of the internet. We have a lot of booktubers out there, and I think because my type of, you know, me, like as a mom and as a wife and 30-something-year-old on booktube, you know, we don't have a lot of time to post videos as much because like our hands are kind of full most of the time. So I'm trying to figure out like content wise like what I could put out for you. But I just think that we need more people that are in their 30s on this side of the internet that enjoy reading the same books as our 20-year-olds on the internet, or also introducing some different books, because we're in different parts of our lives. So 20-year-olds who really enjoy something, a 30-year-old, it might be a little bit too immature, or something that just doesn't fit into our lives at the moment. It just might not like fit into our lives at the moment, but when we were in our 20s, it fit into our lives. So it's kind of hard to, you know, read books that don't fit into our lives. So my channel, I want to incorporate a little bit more geared towards, you know, people that are going through what I'm going through every day. So on my channel, you can expect your typical bookish content, but also you're gonna have some content from me as a mom and a wife and someone who is in their late 30s now, that type of content as well. Number 16, how has your reading taste evolved from last year? I will say my reading taste evolved because I am open to reading a little bit more in the romantasy part of the genres, because like I never really liked romance in my fantasy ever. I never read romance ever until recently. I was very much into like, you know, fantasy, no romance, and horror thrillers, like very not bland, but I don't want to say bland content, but I didn't like steamy scenes. They made me cringe. Now I'm like okay with it. So I just think that, you know, that's definitely helped me evolve, and finding books that have all the elements that I love of fantasy, but incorporating romance, but tastefully. I'm really enjoying that. And I've also been open to reading literary fiction, which I never read before either. I have dabbled into like Kristen Hanna books because her writing and her books are just very popular, but I've definitely read a few lit fics over 2024 that I was like, you know what, I can get with this a little bit. So there might be a little bit more of that on my channel. We shall see. Number 17, booktube creators who inspire you. Everyone. I think all of booktube inspires me. I find new channels every single day. I think everyone here on this side of the internet is truly amazing. I will say my top people that I do watch as of recently, I will say the Raven-Haired Reader. I love her content. Locke's Library, I love her content. I love her vlogs. She's just like a cozy part of the internet for me. I watch Carter Sullivan. I love her videos. I love her home videos. I love her finance videos. Like, she's just so great all around. But I love that she reads books as well, and she's at the heart of it, a book channel, but she just has a little bit of everything on there, and she's also a wife, so it's nice to see her kind of doing her home renovations and things like that. So I really love her channel. Chris and Mad's channel for fantasy. They're fantasy lovers. They're sisters. I have a sister too, and sometimes we buddy read books, but I just love that there's a sister duo out there on booktube. I think that's so much fun. I always watch Jody on Vanilla Moon. Is her channel still Vanilla Moon? But her name's Jody. Love Jody. I watch Sarah Caroli and Destiny and all of the book girlies. I love them all. I think they're great. And watching all these young booktubers come up in the world is just so nice to see. Young people reading books. I just love it, because there was a long time there where I was going to Barnes & Noble and I was the only person in the store. So seeing all these young people reading books is just so inspiring. Love that. Yeah, I think everyone is truly amazing on here, and I just have a whole list of people that I will list down below of that I watch. I will put their channel links on my little drop down thing for you guys. But I will say I'm inspired by everyone. Larry, of course, like, hello, Larry. I probably read romance because of her. That's why I read romance now, because of her passion for romance books and dark romance. So, yeah. So, but I will leave everyone's channel links that I watch on a daily down below for you guys. My camera died at the last question, of course. So, let's get back into that final question. Number 18, something you want to say to anyone wanting to start a Bookish account. Just start it. Just start your Bookish account, whether it's booktube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever app you're gonna use, just do it. You don't need the best cameras, and you don't need the microphones, and you don't need all of the extra stuff to start your channel. Just start it. If you love books, you will get there. But books are just such an amazing way to connect with people, especially in this community. We are such a great community, and everybody is open and sensitive to everybody, and that's what I love so much about this part of the internet. I have connected with so many amazing people over books. Some of my greatest friends are people that I met through making this channel, and I really appreciate the bookish community so much. So if you want to start a channel, if you want to just start putting content out there about book reviews, or just even if you want to collect books, you don't want to read them but you want to collect them, whatever the case is, just do it. You will feel great about it. And I've been doing this since 2018. I started my channel, and it hasn't grown as big as I'd love it to grow just yet, maybe. But I love the little community that I've created with my followers and my subscribers. And I went without filming for almost a year, and all I thought about every day was coming back here. This is like my home. This is where I feel the most myself. And this is where I feel like I could just talk about my favorite thing with my favorite people. And yeah, so if you feel that way about books, like I said, just make your channel. Just do it. Just do it. It was the best thing that I ever did, and it will be the best thing that you ever did. Just don't stress out about having all of the equipment just yet. That stuff will come as time goes on. That is it for the beginning of the year book tag. Thank you, Larry, for creating this book tag, and let's start making tags a normal thing. Again, I am so excited about it. I'm gonna start thinking about a tag to create, if my brain will work that way. Ever since becoming a mom, my brain just doesn't work the way that it used to, and if you're a mom, you understand that. Like, it just doesn't. But I'm so appreciative to Larry for creating this book tag, and it was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys learned some things about me through this book tag. And if you want to see more videos from me, just subscribe down below, hit that little bell icon if you want to see videos as I upload them. I'm going to try to get at least 2 videos out a week. Let's see if that works. Thank you so much for watching. All my social media links are down below, whatever's left of social media at this point. Instagram and my Goodreads are linked. I do have a Fable also that I will link down below as well if you want to follow me on there. Pango Books page where I sell all of my lovely books and I keep them in excellent condition, so make sure you check out my Pango Books page. I just put a bunch of books on there, like there's a lot of books on there. So on that note, that is all I have for you guys today, and I'll be talking to all you guys soon. Bye.